Hey guys, this is Evan, better known to some of you as Targon. What I'm going to be showing you right now is how to build your economy in Evony, manage your resource fields, um, manage the valleys, and so forth. Now, it's important to note that what I'm going to be showing right now is at a little bit more advanced stage of the game. When you're first starting out, or at least when I am, I typically I'll do things a little bit differently. I want to have a little bit of each resource because when you're first starting out, stone is very important. And if you're under beginner's protection, it's not as easy to get food, so you have to have some farms. Later on in the game, as I'm going to show you later, um, I pretty much just all I use really for resource fields is lumber and iron. So right now, just take a look at the resource fields in this city. They're all sawmills. It's a level 14 historic city, so it came with one resource field at level 14, so I kept the iron mine and I kept the farm. Really, the iron mine's not doing me anything right now because I'll show you later. Um, but so all of these resource fields right now are lumber producing. And the reasoning for that is if you look at the valleys here. What I have highlighted here is a level 10 forest. I'm not sure if you can really see it well or not, but the level 10 forest, it doesn't just add a certain number of lumber. It doesn't add 50,000 lumber per hour. It adds 23%. So if I have one city and all it's making is lumber, that 23% is a heck of a lot better than if it's 1/3 lumber or something like that. So what I do, you can kind of see here I have this other city right next door. So this one's the lumber city, and now I'll go to this one. And you can see this one has all iron production. There's still one sawmill and one quarry just because I am too lazy to demo them at the moment. But pretty much these are all iron mines. And again, so the same concept applies. You go to one of the hills here, and again, a level 10 hill, it adds 23% production to your iron. So by having an iron city and a lumber city right next to each other, what I can do is at the end of the day, I just transfer all my extra iron to my lumber city and all my extra lumber to my iron city. And so if you look at, I don't know if you can see the numbers over here on the right side. In my iron city, I currently have 319 million lumber just sitting there, rotting away. And then in my lumber city, I have 560 iron that's just kind of sitting there rusting away. I've actually, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I went to one of the sister alliances. There were some newer players there, and I just gave out a whole bunch of resources to everybody, and I'm already back up to full. Yeah, even more than I was when I left. So that's how I typically structure cities. I highly recommend trying that. And then for the stone and food later on in the game, stone you don't really need very much. Pretty much all I use stone for now is building catapults. And I farm so many NPCs to get food. Rather than having food production, I just farm NPCs and get all my food that way. And that when you farm NPCs, you also get some stone. So with the amount of NPCs that I am farming right now, the stone is not even an issue. So that's typically how I structure my cities. I highly suggest trying it, at least, if you've never tried it before, just try it with 2 cities. Get 2 cities close together, make one of them all iron, make one of them all lumber. And then just at the end of the day, just transfer any extra over. And eventually you'll start piling up. And it's really, really amazing how fast you can stockpile all these resources. Now, sometimes I do have a couple cities. Well, actually, I think this server, it's really just one city that I have structured more split. It's kind of 50-50. I use this as my war city. It's the city that I'll port around in, and I have it set, the resource fields. It's probably about 3/4 or 2/3 lumber and then 1/3 iron. And the reason for that is sometimes it can be very far away from my other cities, and I'm too lazy to transport tons of resources out to it. So I just have it be 50-50, and it works okay for me. It doesn't stockpile as much, but if it really starts getting low, then I just send more, or I just go kill some unlucky bastard and take his resources. So that pretty much concludes this episode. Again, so for resources, just try focusing one city to lumber, focus another one on all iron, and just see what that does for you. See how it changes your game. If you're new and you're just starting out, you can still try this. Probably, like I said early on, you're going to want a few quarries to get some stone, and you're going to want a few farms because if you're under beginner's protection, you can't farm NPCs to get food. But as the game progresses, I still encourage you, try this formula. It really, really works, and it's really going to change your game, and your alliance is going to love you because you're always going to have extra resources. So good luck to you guys with that, and let me know how it works out for you. And that is all for this session. I'm going to be doing another one on how to structure the inside of your town in a little bit.